This video will show you how to replace your rear wheel bearing assembly on this Toyota Corolla. This will be located behind your rear wheel. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. The first thing we have to do is safely raise and support the rear of the vehicle so the wheel's off the ground. Once you've done that, you're going to remove all 5 of your 21mm lug nuts and we can get the wheel off of here. Now the next thing we're going to do is remove our rear brake drum from this area. To do that, if it doesn't just slide out of position, you can have a peek at these 2 ports. They're threaded. Find the bolt that fits into it, start it in, and then you just want to continue on by tightening this up. As you drive this in, it's going to start pulling the drum out and away. Just get that started into position. There we go. Now that we have the brake drum out of the way, we have a clear view of our hub, which is part of our bearing that we're replacing. To be able to remove the hub and bearing assembly, we actually need to be on the inboard side, just along the back side of the backing plate. Now along the back side here, we can see where our ABS wheel speed sensor goes into the back side of the bearing. On some applications, you're going to find that you have a plastic lock around your connector which needs to be dislodged first. If you do have this locking clip, you want to carefully use a pick, get underneath the locking tabs, there's one on the top and the bottom, and gently pry them out of place. Sometimes when you get the top one, the bottom one will dislodge as well. Just roll it right off of there. There we go. Nice. We can remove that. We're just going to continue on with our angled pick. You can also use a flat blade screwdriver. For this electrical connector, it has a locking tab up along the top. Just gently lift up on that and we'll pull this out of place. There we go. Thorough inspection for corrosion of that wiring harness, of course. This one looks good. We can set that aside. Next, we're going to remove our 4 14mm mounting bolts holding the bearing in place. Typically for this, I like to leave one of them in just a couple threads while I continue removing the bearing. Just a quick inspection of that bolt. I'm going to start it back in just a couple threads and we'll fully remove all others. Now let's focus out in this area. If you were to take hold of the bearing assembly and try to pull it out, sometimes it'll slide out, but most times it won't. If it does not come out, you're going to have to try to get it out of here in some way. There's different type of bearing removal tools. You could try using a hammer. You just want to be extremely careful not to cause any damage. For the removal tool I'm using, it's pretty basic. It's a couple of bolts. We'll have some nuts and some washers. To install these tools, we're going to have to destroy the wheel bearing hub by removing these 2 studs. For that, I'm just going to use a hammer. We'll give it a bonk, drive it out. Let's get this next one. Now on my tool in particular, the first thing we have to do is take our bolt and bring it through. After that, we want to have our mounting nut on the inboard side there. We're just going to start the bolt on. Now, since we don't want to cause any damage to the backing plate or the mounting point, we want to make sure we have some sort of spacer in between the bolt and the backing plate. So when the bolt is turning, it's not going to cause any damage. For this, I'm just going to slide the cup right over the very end of the bolt there, and we'll continue on driving this in. Be careful for any pinch points as you continue on. There we are, there's one. Let's get the next one in place. Small adapter. There we are. Now I've got that on there. For my tool, I'm using a 24mm for my mounting nut and a 19mm for my bolt head. Okay, we're starting to see that bearing pull away now. I'll apply a little bit more penetrant here just to help things along. Once you do have some movement, you can remove your tool and remove the bolt from the back side of the bearing. The bolt's out of there. Let's pry this out of place. Now, when you try to remove the bearing, you might find that the entire backing plate assembly wants to separate as well. That's due to the fact that the bearing and the back there hold the backing plate in place. There it is, friend. The next thing we need to do is clean and inspect the mounting area. Obviously, the backing plate's pretty important, but really what we want to pay attention to is the circular port on our rear axle. For that, you can use a piece of sandpaper or wire brush, whatever you have. We'll just clean it up, try to get it to be a smooth surface. After completing that area, just go ahead and do a quick clean on that backing plate itself as well with your wire brush or sandpaper, and of course some parts cleaner. We have our collection receptacle under here so we can recycle any fluid as necessary. Everything's clean. We're going to continue on with some anti-seize. I like to apply some anti-seize directly around that rear axle. We'll just spread it directly around the port with a gloved finger, of course. Be careful for any small burrs that might be in this area. Now it's time to install the brand new rear wheel bearing and hub assembly. When we install this, let's make sure we have our ABS wheel speed connector along the bottom. We'll bring this into position, align our mounting bolt ports, and start in all 4 of our mounting bolts. As we start in our mounting bolts, make sure you do not tighten any of them until they're all started in. You may need to move things around a little bit. I like to use red thread locker on my bolts. We have all our bolts started in. Let's go ahead and snug them up and torque them to 74 foot-pounds. When we snug these, we're going to do it in a crisscross manner. As we snug these, let's make sure we do it in a crisscross manner so we can help walk this into the proper positioning. Just going to double check that first one. It's common for that to remain loose. Now while we're back here, let's continue on to pressing in our electrical connector. Line it up, press it in, listen for an audible click, a light tug. If you still have your plastic locking clip, we can install that as well. Just want to make sure we're not going to cause any damage to the wiring. Just bring it right through. Press that over. There we are, audible click from both those locking tabs. That prevents this from coming loose while you're driving down the road. Let's apply some copper anti-seize to our wheel bearing hub. Just spread that around. Now the next thing you want to do is clean the mating surface on the back side or the inboard side of your brake drum. You can use a wire brush or some sandpaper. I'm replacing my brake drum. Along the back side of the backing plate here, we're going to remove this rubber plug. This is where we're going to gain access to our adjustment point. Quick inspection of that, we'll set it aside. Now prior to installing our brake drum, we're going to pay attention to the adjuster. I want to show you what's about to happen here. I'm going to be using an angled pry bar in and through the back of the backing plate. You can see me protruding through. We want to try to grab on to this cog, and you can make your adjustments for the brake shoes. You can either adjust them out or turn it the opposite way to adjust them in. Now that I've shown you what's about to happen, since this is going to be behind the brake drum, you really can't see very much. But essentially, when the drum is on, we want to continue tightening this until you have very little brake drag, or the brake shoes are just barely touching up against the brake drum. You don't want to have something to the point that you can't turn the drum, because friction creates heat, that'll cause things to expand, and your brakes might lock up on you. But if they're too loose, you step on the brake pedal's going to feel squishy, and you're not going to have very much braking from this wheel. Let's just go ahead and clean up that brake drum. I'm using some parts cleaner. Clean rag. We'll clean the entire braking surface all the way around. Let's clean that mating surface. And now we can get this in place. Now, as you can tell here, this needs to be adjusted a little bit tighter so we're pushing the shoes outward towards the drum, and when we spin this, we should hear a slight scraping noise. There we are, getting close now. There we are. Now, after you've made your adjustment, you want to make sure you protect the port. We'll just use our rubber plug, slide it right into position. Let's get our wheel on here. We'll get that in place. Start on all 5 of your 21mm lug nuts. We'll bottom them out. Get the wheel safely back down on the ground and torque each of these lug nuts to 76 foot-pounds. Now that we've got the wheel back on the ground, let's torque each one of our 21mm lug nuts to 76 foot-pounds. Torqued. Okay, friend, we finished the installation of our rear wheel bearing. The next thing you want to do is take your vehicle for a road test and make sure there's no ABS light. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.